Hi. I'm talking today about transition, and many of you have asked, where have your YouTubes been, or where have your podcasts been? And I'm in the process of huge transition, and it's made me really sink into transition in general and the idea of transition. And I think as a culture and as a society, we mark these big things like deaths and moves, transition, right? These are the obvious things. And recently, I have gone through a leaving of a job, and my supervisor gave me this beautiful transitional object. It's a beautiful bracelet made out of crystals. And I had a parallel process with my clients as I said goodbye, because I was also making them bracelets as a transitional object. So there was some synchronicity in that. And there's this way in which big transitions invoke a piece of yourself that, if you want, you have a capability of observing yourself and observing your way of being in the world. And I noticed more recently with my embodiment work that before I would get really excited about transition, I was really looking forward to the new opportunities of growth and making new friends and just the excitement of everything that comes new. And that's still very present and true for me. But the part of transition that I didn't so much have available to me until recently is the deep grief of saying goodbye to people who have been part of your life and part of your process in a way that will never be recreated. And a deep gratitude that I've been able to access by going into these deep spaces of grief. And I just wanted to kind of speak to that, because not only am I moving and starting a new position, which is really big, my son's moving and he's starting a new school, and we're moving to a new town. So although my friends are only going to be an hour away, that's a fairly good amount of time. So I'll have to create a new community. And then there's also a loss of a person that was a new person in my life but has passed, and how that invokes what transition really is, of this letting go and this aspect of self that is impermanent, and how life, as much as we try to grasp and hold on to things, everything has this impermanence to it. And ultimately, how transition fundamentally invokes I think mortal impermanence, and depending on the layers that we're operating on, we have deeper access to that, or we don't. And I think it's interesting to witness self in the midst of big transition, death, new jobs, new homes, cling, like our ego wants to cling to something that can make us feel like, have a sense of feeling that there's safety or control. And in little ways, that's accurate, right? I mean, I can have some safety in the relationship I have with my son who's going on the journey with me, or I can have some control over the home that I pick and the neighborhood that I'm going to live in, or the new friends that I'm going to choose to associate with, but how that can become a focus point instead of being able to hold the whole and dropping into like the deep understanding that ultimately we don't have control, and that transition is happening all the time. I'm getting gray hair, you know. It's spring, so the tulips are, or those aren't tulips. Oh, I know those. I know the name of those flowers, but those Easter flowers are blooming. And, you know, then the next season, and then the next season. And embracing how the seasons change. And something about this transitional object, the fundamental value it can hold in helping one move to the next phase, and how the more we sink into allowing us to feel all the feelings, the excitement, the fear, the sadness, the happiness, the anxiety, all of it, really, all the feelings. I've felt all the feelings over the last couple months. Allows us to create a bigger container within ourselves to like move forward into the unknown, which really, that's what we're doing. I mean, all of us are these humans, and what are we doing? We're in the unknown together every day. Some of us think we know what we're doing sometimes, but really we're moving in this world together in the unknown, in human form. And having a container or ritual around the transitions, just like I have a ritual around death now that's really dear and precious to me, where I hold the person in my heart, and a little piece of them will forever have changed my reality. And I believe that true with everyone that we meet in the world. And I just really want to honor this space that all of us humans are going through all the time, every day. And when the bigger transitions happen, hold space for all the feelings that emerge and let yourself have the process in order to be more present with our humanness, my humanness. So thank you very much, and thank you all that have been supporting me, and I really appreciate it. And again, all my consciousness unicorns, I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. It touches my heart. And again, from my heart to yours. Mwah.